Hello, this is Crystal Meach with Tao of the Heart, and today I have Jennifer from Jennifer's Frugal. She's on TikTok and YouTube, and she has, was it 18 streams of income that you said you
18
had?
streams of income. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. I do.
So I want to hear about that. Let's just jump
Okay,
in.
of course, of course. Let's jump right in. So my name is Jennifer, Jennifer Geigel. I am from Canada and I have 18 streams of income. And when I spoke with Crystal, she was like, "What? You got to come on and explain all of these." I actually have a document that I've created because sometimes people ask me like, "What are your 18 streams of income?" And I can't remember all of them. Like sometimes I'll be like, "Wait, I'm forgetting some," because it's 18 of them. So I did create a document explaining each of them. So maybe we could link it or put it somewhere in the comments or something if we're posting this, and then people will be able to access it as well, because I would need like a lot of time to talk about all 18 streams of income. But I will kind of, go over some of them. So I am a retired teacher. I retired. My claim to fame is I retired at 47 years old. I was actually debt free, mortgage free at 45 years old. So people are always very impressed by that. And one of the reasons is because I did have so many streams of income on top of my teaching career. So that's something that they were like, how do you do it? So obviously my teaching career was my main stream of income, was my main, career, was my main job. So when I retired, so that job turned into more substitute teaching. So I do continue to teach, but only like not so frequently as maybe other people. I know other retired teachers who go in a lot. I only substitute teach maybe one day a week, and sometimes not even. Like I didn't go this week because it was the last week before Christmas break, and I was like, I'm not going in. So it's giving me that opportunity to choose when I work and choose when I don't work. Because we all know when you're a teacher and you're in a full-time position, you just can't go up and leave anytime you want, right? So there are set dates that you get to, and this is something that with time, my husband and I, we wanted to be able to travel, to do stuff. As an example, in September, we took 20 days to just go on a road trip. So we did this huge road trip, and we just could do it because we're both retired, we're both, free. We don't have to answer to anybody, so we answer to ourselves right now. So that's the number one reason why I'm so frugal, and that's why I have this account on TikTok. And just to let you know, Crystal, I am so close to 30,000 followers. My wish, my Christmas wish was, I even did a video on TikTok saying, all I want for Christmas is 30,000 followers, and I'm at 29.9. So I'm probably going to have it by
Good.
tomorrow morning.
That's time. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to do it with plenty of extra time. So I'm very excited about that for sure. Yeah. And if you want to check it out, it's called Jennifer's Frugal for anybody who's listening. So that's really
I checked
exciting. I
it
was
out
telling,
today. Yeah.
I know, I see that. I wrote a comment. So one of my streams of income that I was telling Crystal about when we were speaking on Owl, and that's something else, maybe also Crystal can talk to you guys a bit about Owl, but Owl is an amazing platform where you can like phone people and connect. That's how we connected together. So that's really great. And that's another way that you can make extra money for sure, but more so to make the connections, right? More so to make connections. So, long story shortened a little bit, met Crystal on Owl, told her about this platform called Benable. And the reason why I'm going to start with this one is because it's one that anybody can do. You don't have to have any special requirements. You don't need a following on TikTok or anything. I mean, you could have no followers on social media, right? So that is an easy one. Like literally no one is excluded from it. It's not like you need to be such a thing, right? No. So that's what's exciting about this one. So anybody listening today could start a Bendable account, but it's so exciting. So my daughter has an account as well. She's 20 and she has autism. So she started putting things on. My husband has an account as well. So what Bendable is basically a storefront where you can link things. You can link your favorite Nike shoes. You could link your favorite puzzles that you bought at Walmart. You could link anything, you could literally your hair care products, these glasses, this top you're wearing, your earrings. You could go around your house and just be like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. Let's talk about it. And even if you don't have it at home, all you have to do is take the link from the website, put it on to Venable, and it will create an affiliate link for you. So literally, as long as that company is part of the Venable like partnership or whatever, then you can link it. And even if it's not, so as an example, let's say you sell your own candles or something, and you sell whatever, you sell Christmas cards that you make, or some knitting that you make. Some people have their own little stores, their little businesses. Maybe they're not affiliated to Venable, but you could still put the links up on there, right? You could still put the links. I put even links to like TikTok videos. I will put the link to this podcast. I will put it on Venable, right? So you can put anything that you want on there. You could put YouTube videos, whatever. So think about just if you can just think out of the box. Imagine what you could do. For example, let's say you're making a recipe. I am creating these beautiful gluten-free gingerbread cookies. You list the ingredients that you purchased at Walmart, right? You list them, you put the video of you making the recipe. Maybe you put it up on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever. And then you can put all of the ingredients and people can shop the ingredients. And that could be a beautiful list called, my favorite recipes. And you could have sub lists with like gingerbread cookies and, shortbread cookies and all of the cookies, whatever. You could have different ones. You're going on a trip. I saw that you put something about Disney, so it could be like, we're going on a road trip. This is a link to all of the restaurants we visited while we were, on our road trip. Or maybe these are all of the hotels that we stayed at during our road trip. Venable. So you could even like, if you rented out a place, you could put it on Venable. And if somebody books something, you'll get a percentage of that sale. Like it's
Yes.
fantastic. It's fantastic. So I don't know if you had questions about that one, Crystal, because I saw that you just started as well, but it's so fun, literally so fun.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Pinterest in a way.
Yeah, so some people say that it's like if Linktree and Pinterest had a baby. That's what it would be. So I thought that was a nice description, and it's a nice way. And people ask me like, how much money do I make with this? And again, it depends how much work you put into it, like anything, right? So there's no risk. There's no risk because if it doesn't cost anything. So if nothing happens, well, nothing happens. That's not, the end of the world. But if you work at it a little bit, you have to make a few lists, like I would recommend even making like 10 different lists and putting things up there. Maybe taking the lists and sharing them on Facebook or sharing them somewhere, saying, send it to people. If you have like an email list, you could like send people an email saying, hey guys, I started this beautiful list of gift ideas for teens. If you'd like this gift ideas for teens, here's a list, and then people will go and have a look and browse. And people can go browse, even if they're not part of Venable, they can go browse and they can shop. They can shop your items. And it's been lucrative for me, especially during the Christmas like period right now. I mean, you have to wait until you have $80 to cash out. So once you have $80, you can cash out. I got $80 November 15th. So I cashed out. And then November 17th. And then December 15th, I had over $100. So I cashed out again. And I am $9 away from cashing out again at 80. So it gives you an idea that it's about, like for me, it's about $160 a month, depending on how hard I share these links. And I think people, because they are Christmas shopping, a lot of my lists that are being looked at in the last month have been the gift idea list. I made a teens gifts ideas, toddlers gifts parents will love. I even made a list of Walmart toys that are under $10. So it's like, here are some, because, sometimes people, they just want to buy a little gift, or maybe some people don't have much money this time of year. And that under $10 gift list was really popular. People looked at it a lot. I also had another list that was called gift ideas for men, because people never know what to buy men. What do you buy your father, your brother, your husband, your uncle, your whoever's coming over, right? And you're like, you just feel like you're doing the same thing every year. So I made a gift ideas list. So that went really well. And another idea that I had that was fantastic is I made my wish list. So I made a list. It's called Jennifer's Wish List. And I put all of the things, the links to things that I wanted. And then I sent that to my family. I was like, here's my wish list. So imagine people were shopping off the list, and I will get a percentage of that also back. So that's an extra gift as well. So that was kind of fun. So I recommend that one to everyone. It's easy to do. There's no risk involved. You don't have to put any money up front. You don't nothing. Um, and it's easy to do. As long as you can copy and paste a link, you're good to go. So
So you get a credit when they click on the link, or how does
they
it work?
have to purchase.
They have to purchase it. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see when people do click and stuff, it'll say, such a person visited such a link. It doesn't say the name of the person, it just says someone from such a place. Like it might say, someone from New York, visited your gift ideas for men list. So you don't see who it is, but you see from what region they're from. So that gives you an idea where your, target audience is. And what's great is that this is for everybody in the whole world. So it doesn't matter if you're in Canada, if you're in the UK, if you're in the US, it works for everybody, right? So that's what's really interesting. And you do get paid on PayPal. So you do need a PayPal account. That's one of the things that you do need so that they can give out the payouts. But again, a PayPal account is easy to create. So yeah, so it's pretty that's a neat one. And like I said, the more people use it, like a friend of mine, she orders from Walmart all the time because they don't have a car, they don't have a vehicle. So they will order all their groceries and everything from Walmart, and they have it delivered to their house. So I suggested to her, I said, well, then why don't you start a Bendable account, and why don't you have like your husband shop? Because I think you're not supposed to be shopping from your own account, but definitely your friends and family can shop from your account. So, we can play with the wording a little bit, but it does, and then she was like, well, that makes sense. So she started a Bendable account, started putting things that she wanted from Walmart, and they're getting back a little percentage from their groceries every week. So just for that reason alone, it makes sense. And it doesn't matter if the person purchases the item, so for example, if this is like a phone case, a phone holder, and you have it on, and the person clicks on this but ends up buying a whole other item. Maybe they buy a different phone holder, or maybe they don't even buy the phone holder and they end up buying a pair of socks. You would still get a percentage of the sales because they entered the website through your link. So you get credit for that. So that's kind of cool. It is really, really fascinating. And it's a really nice way to make, like you could easily make about I'd say like realistically about $100 a month on there, maybe a bit less at the beginning, because obviously if you only have like one or two lists, it's not going to get that much traffic. But you get so excited the first few times where you get that email, someone purchased something from your list, you're like, hey, you get all excited, even if it's $1.50 or something. You get all excited about it. But it is really, really fun. And that's one of my favorites, just because I could be watching TV and I'm working on my list. It's not hard to do. It's very and listen, $100 more a month is over $1,000 a year. I mean, everybody could use an extra $1,000, right? Like even if you just use that to pay your phone bill every month or something, like it's an extra thing. And that's how I think about all of these small side hustles that I do have. I keep thinking, well, 'cause sometimes people will say, well, you're only getting $20 a month, or you're only getting. So one of the things that I do also is I'm an Amazon affiliate and an Amazon influencer. So that is two different things. So I'm not going to get into detail about what the difference is, but you do need a bit of a following for that. You can apply to be an Amazon influencer or an Amazon affiliate. And then you get like a storefront that you can post things like post your favorite Amazon items on. A little bit like Benable, except you do need a following. They're not going to give you a storefront if you don't have a big enough following, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a little bit more difficult to get in. But sometimes with my Amazon affiliate program, I might get, $27, 30 something dollars a month. It's not very much. I find I don't get much on there compared to Benable. But it is free money. I basically just post a little bit here and there when I have a second. And again, if people go into those links. So that whole affiliate marketing thing, in that case, it makes sense because it's easy. You make a few dollars, so that's kind of very similar as Benable, but between Benable and Amazon, I make more money with Benable. And the fact that you can use all the companies, like literally like Walmart and just everything, like even I made a list about my favorite Lego. The Lego store is on Benable, so it's so easy, stuff like that. So it does make it fun. Another one that I was thinking that maybe people would be interested, because I'm a teacher, I sell things on a site called Teachers Pay Teachers. So I don't know if you've heard about this, Crystal. Have you heard about that?
No, I'm
So
not a teacher. I don't.
yeah, but I mean, sometimes people have heard about it. But okay, so what it is, it's a website, and you don't have to be a teacher to sell on it. This is what's interesting. That's what's interesting. So this is why I wanted to talk about it. So maybe there are people listening that really do well, for example, on Canva. So do you like working on Canva,
I
making little
love.
designs? Okay, so now hear me out. This is another really, really, really good stream of income. Okay, so Teachers Pay Teachers is a website, and how it started is basically if I'm a teacher and if I'm getting all of these beautiful worksheets, I'm getting them ready. I have all of them. I work hard on them. I'm doing all these cute little math worksheets and, English worksheets and whatever. You're getting all these things, science worksheets. Maybe you're creating things. And I know teachers are creating their own things because we can't find what we're looking for, right? We're like, I just want something about this. And you're just like, I'm just going to do it myself. Now, you can take those worksheets and make them into PDFs, or you can even sell them through, like, for example, like a Google document. Like if you have like a Google slide, for example, a slideshow about a science slideshow that you created for your class, right? Maybe it's a slideshow about whatever, the planets or something, right? So you have all the planets on the slideshow. You made it for your class. So don't work for nothing. Let's even add another element to this. If you've already made it, why not sell it? So put it on Teachers Pay Teachers. Other teachers are looking for this kind of thing, right? So, you needed it. Somebody else might need it. So even if you sell it a few dollars, like let's say you sell your slideshow $5, right? It doesn't matter. So Teachers Pay Teachers does keep a percentage of that sale. I want to say it's like a 40-60 mix, or maybe I can't remember exactly. But you get it like, let's say half, but I think it's a bit more than half. So let's say you put it up for $5, you sell it, you get $2.50 or $3. But this is once you post it on there, once you add the link to that product, you don't have to touch it ever again, right? Because teachers all over the world, again, all over the world, are looking for things, right? It might be somebody out in, I don't know, maybe somebody across the world, they could be in Africa looking for this. It doesn't matter. So they're looking, they can purchase it, they receive a PDF or the link to the Google document, they get it in their email. So once you add it to that platform, you can just step away. So like just today I made another sale. I saw something. I had created little tracing sheets for little ones, to trace their letters. And I had a student that I tutor and he needed that. And I tutor mostly in French. And I couldn't find anything in French that was good, because all of the stuff, the resources were all in English. And A is for airplane and B is for, whatever. And I was like, well, that doesn't work, because in French, it's not necessarily the same letter that starts, so yes, it works for airplane because it's avion, but it doesn't work for maybe the other letters. And I was like, okay, well, this doesn't work because those words don't match up to what they are in French. So I was like, I'm just going to make my own. So I did every letter, found little, things that started with that letter in French, did it all up, used it for my student. So now that's another stream of income, by the way. I tutor. So I've told you about 4 so far. So I do substitute teaching, I tutor, sell things on Teachers Pay Teachers. I sell things or affiliate to to Amazon. So I'm an affiliate for Amazon, and I sell things on Bendable. And these are things that I've not created myself on Bendable and on Amazon, but on Teachers Pay Teachers, I'm the one who created these things, and I'm selling them on Teachers Pay Teachers. So now let's add another element. Okay. So I'm a teacher. I create stuff for my students that I'm tutoring. And let's say I create this document and it's really good. And for example, I was creating lots and lots and lots of math sheets, I made them lots and lots of math sheets for my tutoring students. I put them on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm selling them there. So now I'm adding another element. I also sell them on Amazon as books. So what I did is I gathered all of these worksheets, and this little boy was in grade 1 at the time when I was tutoring him. So it's a grade 1 math book. I put all the sheets together, put them on Amazon. And this is what people don't know. Okay. So again, if you have your notepad, start writing it down. It's called KDP self-publishing. Anybody in the world can publish a book. You can publish your own book for free on Amazon, and it's called KDP. So you have to go to the KDP website and just register there. And how it works is that you upload the PDF, and then they basically will print it on demand. So let's say if Crystal wants to purchase one of my worksheets, maybe, she has someone that's like, oh, she's saying this is a great idea for such a person's kid that I know. Maybe she wants to purchase it. So she can do 2 things. She can either go on Teachers Pay Teachers and purchase the PDF and print it at home, or she can go on Amazon and then she can purchase the actual book. So when she presses purchase now, Amazon prints it on demand. So that means that there's not like, 100 copies at Amazon waiting to be sold. They literally print them as people are ordering them. So that's really interesting. And then you get a percentage of that sale as well. You can decide what the margin is, and whatever you want, they will increase the price of the book accordingly, right? So for those books, I might only get like $1 or $2 per book to sell. However, no upfront cost. I don't have to buy, like sometimes publishing houses will make you buy so many of your book. They'll say, okay, you must buy 500 copies. I don't have that kind of money, So this way it's completely free to do. Okay, you only get $1 or $2 per book. However, there's no risk on your part, because if the book does not sell, you're not out any money, right? So that's another way that I make money. So that's like what now, number 6 is I sell my books on Amazon, and these are the workbooks that I've also put on Teachers Pay Teachers. So I'm kind of like double dipping that one. So sometimes it sells on Teachers Pay Teachers, sometimes it sells on Amazon. I actually make more money when it sells on Teachers Pay Teachers, because Amazon is a smaller percentage, because they're doing all the work. They are printing it, they are shipping it, they are doing everything. I do nothing. I just put it on, I put the PDF, So yeah, so that's another way how I create extra income. And I always say work smarter, like not harder. So if you have things, and listen, we're going into 2026. Everybody should have digital assets. I tell everybody, what are your digital assets? Start naming them, right? And they're like, what do you mean my digital assets? You need digital assets. It doesn't matter what it is. So if you're somebody, for example, who does woodworking, or if you're somebody, for example, that paints, or I have a friend who does dot painting. I said, listen, you're going to create something. So it could be, as an example, it could be a 2 or 3 page instruction on how to do something, right? You could even sell that on Amazon as a just like a Kindle download. So you know how you can download just like a virtual book on Amazon, like a Kindle version, and you can read it on your phone, or you can read it on a desktop, or if you have a Kindle, you can. So let's say if you did have a document, even if it was 3 or 4 pages, they're not going to make a book out of it because it's 3 pages, but you can sell the digital copy. So let's say, for example, that you're doing a class or something, you could even say to everybody in the class, okay, my digital workbook is 5 pages long. It's on KDP, or on Kindle on Amazon. Go and purchase it, even if you charge $1, right? So with the KDP downloads, you keep more of the money because they don't do anything. They just send the PDF over to the person, like they send the link. So that is really easy for them. So you do keep more of the money. And I said, it doesn't matter if you are selling $1 PDFs. The interesting part of this is that you will be able to sell this thing forever. It is there now. So you can get residual income for the rest of your life. And that's the same thing with Teachers Pay Teachers. Those are all digital assets that I have in there. They don't necessarily exist in person. They exist on the computer, and I'm selling them as a PDF. Now, one really great example is that I had created this hand washing poster. I had a business called Connecting Pieces. We're going back like about 12 to 15 years. And it was a business for special needs children. I worked with some adults as well. And anyways, one of my clients needed a hand washing poster because he was having a hard time. So I created one for him. And then, of course, and I was on Teachers Pay Teachers back then, like 12 years ago. And I said, I'm just going to put it on Teachers Pay Teachers. No one's going to buy it, but whatever, it'll be there. I was charging $1 for this poster. It was just a little poster, hand washing poster. I think I sold 3 copies in 10 years. It wasn't great, whatever. And all of a sudden, during COVID, I kept looking at my emails. It was like, you sold something on Teachers Pay Teachers. You sold a product on Teachers Pay Teachers. Congratulations, you sold something on. And I was like, what on earth is happening? I totally forgot I even had this product on Teachers Pay Teachers. Because I was never selling it. I didn't remember about it. And all of a sudden, during COVID, I think I sold like 30 copies of this hand washing poster. And I was like, this is why it's so interesting, because I had totally forgot about it. Listen, I made $15. It wasn't the end of the world. However, it was a $15 that I didn't have yesterday. And all of a sudden it appears, it just appears in my bank account. I got this extra, and I was like, well, that's cool, because I did sell quite a bit of them. And it was just the fact that I kept getting emails every single time. I was like, what? And it was just so funny. I was like, what am I selling over and over again? And I remember I was in class. I was actually at school back then and during COVID. And I remember just seeing the emails, and I was like, I don't have time to read my emails right now, right? So during lunch break, I'm like, what is going on? So I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, and everybody's like, what? And I go, oh, I've just got a lot of sales all of a sudden, And I told them, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. And I was like, that's the thing. And I told the other teachers, get started. What are you waiting for? And even some people were like, oh, wow, it's too late for me. No, it's not. Start, because the only difference between me and you is I started 10 years ago, you have to get started at one point, and if you have something that people are looking for, trust me, you'll sell it. You'll sell it because they're looking for it. They Google it. And because I was teaching in French and a lot of my materials are made for French teachers, well, listen, there isn't very many things out there for French teachers. So they were searching for French things. They find me, they find my stuff. I sell. I don't sell a lot. It's not because I don't promote it a lot. I don't really promote it a lot. I do sometimes, but it's not something that I promote often. So maybe I should do it more, but definitely it sells on its own without me promoting it very much. So it's very, very cool. That is very, very cool. That's a cool one. So even if you're not a teacher, Crystal, you said you liked doing things. So start thinking, what would a
I'm a
teacher
coach.
like?
I'm a coach. It's the same thing. Teaching,
Well, exactly.
coaching.
And well, with this being said, you can also sell things for high school students. So maybe a lot of your coaching materials, your coaching stuff, if you tweak it a little bit, and make it geared to, you can make it geared to grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, there's a whole, like, it doesn't have to be for little kids. It's not just for kindergarten. It's for anything, any teacher from, junior K to grade 12, it's like any kind of teacher. I think there's even a college section now. So, I mean, really, it could be for anybody. So sometimes people will say, oh, I don't do little kid stuff. You don't have to, right? You can do things for grade 12, for university, for college. So it's a good one. It's really a good one. And yeah, and once you talk about it to your following, to people, you could be like, go have a look at my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and then people will go and look at what you have. You never know.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, so many people, like right now, there's a little bit of a downturn with jobs, and people are like, how did you get on social media? Like, they look at my following and they're like, oh my God, mine isn't huge. I think I have like 2,000 per platform, and even YouTube, I think there's only like 155 people subscribed. But on LinkedIn and Alignable, I have a pretty big following, and people are asking, like, how did you get into that? And it's like, well, I just posted whatever
Yeah.
I was interested in.
Exactly, and I think that's the way to do it. I mean, I'm a big social media believer because listen, we're not in the age anymore of like newspapers. Listen, if this was 20 years ago, I would say, you're better off putting an ad in a newspaper. But right now, that's not the case, right? Nobody reads the newspaper. Where are people getting their information? It's on social media. People are online all the time, literally all the time. Like people are just there. So you need to be posting where your audience is. So, like for me, honestly, with everything that I do with teacher stuff and the Teachers Pay Teachers and even my Benable stuff, a lot of times, like that works a lot better on Facebook because my audience, let's say, is on Facebook because we're looking at teachers. Okay. So who's a teacher? Okay. 90% of the teachers, let's say for grade school, they're women. Okay. So let's just put it out there. And they are between the age of like 25 to 55. You know what I'm saying? And most of these people are going to be on Facebook. Who's going to be interested in Benable? The things that I do a lot of times are like gift ideas for dads, gifts ideas for kids. You're looking at parents. And again, who's a parent? Again, you have that, or maybe a grandparent, right? And who does the shopping? 90% of the shopping is done by women. So when you look at it, my public, my audience is on Facebook a lot. So I do monetize a lot indirectly on Facebook because I put she's tired. She's like, that's where I monetize the most because that's where now think about it. Where are the readers, right? If you pretend that, every social media is a newspaper, a different kind of newspaper. Well, Facebook, who's reading the newspaper on Facebook? Who is going to be on Facebook? So you can go look, just ask ChatGPT what is the biggest demographic on Facebook and they'll tell you, okay? And if you want to attract that audience, like for example, if Crystal is a coach, I would say the best place for her is on LinkedIn. Okay. So that's where the coaches are going to be more. I mean, because you've got the business people, the businessmen, the businesswomen, the CEOs and stuff like that. They're on LinkedIn. They're not necessarily on Facebook. They might because that's where they keep in touch with their families, but they're not on TikTok, right? Like they're not on TikTok. So again, the Jennifer's frugal part of me, okay, that does really good on TikTok. You know why? Because who needs help grocery shopping, finding good deals at the grocery store, help with frugal recipes? Young moms. Young moms. So again, who are you talking about? 25 to 35-year-old women. And where are the 25-year-old, it's 25 to 30-year-old women? They're on TikTok. Okay. And a lot of them are. Now there are other people on TikTok. They are. My husband's on TikTok. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people on TikTok, but the CEOs and the businessmen are not on TikTok necessarily. There might be a few, but not as much as LinkedIn, right? So that's really important to know, saying, okay, what am I selling? I'm, selling candles. Who's the biggest purchaser of candles? Old women are the biggest purchaser of candles. And because you need disposable income. A
Mhm.
candle is not a necessity. Okay. A candle is not a necessity. So if you're making candles and selling candles, it's not a necessity. So people that are either, they don't have the budget, they don't have the disposable income, maybe maybe the mom is, they're living on one income, the mom's at home with the kids, the dad's out working, or vice versa. They're maybe on one income, they're tight, their money's tight. So they're not going to purchase your candles, because they don't have that disposable income. However, who will buy your candles? They do have a lot of disposable income. Older women that maybe are retired teachers, retired doctors, retired CEOs, retired women are at home shopping because they have the disposable income. Their children are grown and moved away. They don't have their houses are paid off, so they don't have those expenses, right? So where can you sell your candles? On Facebook. Okay. So that's why it's important to know these things. And some people just, they'll just kind of do whatever, but it's not a whatever. It's super important, right? Super important to know. And that's why I'm a big fan, because whenever I have a bendable list, or whenever I have a book or something that I want to sell, I have to know where I'm going to sell it. Do I sell this more on TikTok, or do I sell it more on Facebook, or do I go and try to sell it on LinkedIn? Right? I mean, you have to start thinking. And I mean, there's other platforms, but I'm just giving an example that you do have to think of these things through. And that's kind of your free publicity, because you're not paying for this. I remember when I did have Connecting Pieces, that business for special needs children, and that was like 15 years ago. I would pay like super a lot, like I think it was like $200 for a business card size ad in the newspaper. $200. How many people saw that? I don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking I used to I do the cleaning and organizing, and I did it on Angie, and it was like $200 a month to just be on Angie.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I
So,
mean, so the first year I did it, but then I had established my clients, so then I got rid
yeah,
of Angie. And now I
exactly.
do like Craigslist. It's like $5 a month.
There's so
And
many
I get
things
the
that
biggest houses from Craigslist. Like
that's
millionaires are
amazing.
looking on Craigslist. They're probably frugal like you.
That's interesting. But you know where else I'm thinking, do you get some leads from LinkedIn as well? Because I can see how people like businessmen and stuff, that their families, maybe they do have like big houses and things, and they don't have the time to be, organizing things, and they need help.
I don't advertise as hard on LinkedIn. I more so do the coaching and then the Reiki.
I see. Okay. I see. Well, you found what works. That's what's important. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting what you were saying, like gearing your audience. It seems like Reiki is kind of new in LinkedIn. Like people are like, "What is a Reiki?"
On Facebook, they know.
Yeah, but what's interesting on LinkedIn is, like my background is like 20 years in accounting. So, and it's healthcare accounting. So,
Interesting.
so I have all this holistic healthcare type posts that I'm doing along with the coaching, which is similar, like being conscious of your body.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a niche market, and I can see an audience watching me from my previous healthcare, corporate job,
Yes. Yes.
where they're like, "What is she doing?"
What is she doing now? This is not what I'm used to. That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah. So it's like, exactly. And if you like, okay, because I need to tell people this because it is my mission. It is my mission to get people to learn how to make this extra income because it's available. And people complain that they don't have any money, but they don't do anything. And it's like, guys, yes.
I was gonna say, like, I told 3 people that I was having this podcast, and they wanna know immediately when it was gonna be posted
Yay!
before I even recorded it. And then secondly, I have so many mom Facebook groups that I'm on. Like it's like
Yes.
old country moms, Wisconsin moms, etc. And
Love it.
they're always like, I don't have any money for Christmas presents or something. And you're like, you're on Facebook. So I'm gonna be posting this exact.
Absolutely. And let me know where it is so I can share it out too, because it's, and this is great. And thank you for inviting me. And I love it. And anytime you need me to come and talk about it, as you can tell, I will not shut up about it. I am so passionate about this. It has literally allowed my family so much because, like, I was completely debt free. I had paid off my mortgage, every single credit card and debt and car and everything. No, I have zero debt. Do you know how that feels good? It feels so good. Do the things, do the hustle, do a couple of things. Like, I mean, would it be that hard to add a few lists on Benable? No, it's not that hard. You can do it at night. Even if you're watching TV, you could do it. Even after the kids are gone to bed, you could do it. There's so many things.
I was just thinking like Christmas vacation is coming up. So for me it was, well, I've got the kids, but I have internet, so I guess I can I can do this while they're, whatever they're.
Yeah. If you guys put on a Christmas movie or something, you could be in the background working on some lists. So, and this is okay. So
Or
there's a couple
I
other
can
things.
make the kids do lists.
Absolutely. You could totally get your kids to do lists. How old are they?
I have a 10-year-old daughter, but I'm sure my nieces will be with.
She, you know what though? And even your 10-year-old daughter, once you show her how it works, she'll love doing them. You could even call it, you could call it like uh gift ideas for 10-year-olds and have her put a whole bunch of stuff in there. It'll be awesome. So, okay, now something that everybody can do, okay? Everybody can do. You're going to get into your closet and you're going to take out all the clothing that you have not worn in the last year. Because if you did not wear it in 2025, you will not wear it. And stop imagining that you'll lose 50 pounds and get back into it. Sell it. You can buy more once you've lost your 50 pounds. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to anything. You have knickknacks, you have Rubik's Cubes that nobody is playing with, whatever it is. You're going to go around your house. You're going to start posting it somewhere. May it be Craigslist, may it be Facebook Marketplace. Find some. I love Facebook Marketplace. Some people don't, whatever. eBay. There's all kinds of places where you can sell your stuff. Sell your stuff. Why are you holding on to it? If you did not use it in 2025, sell it. There's a market for everything. And I'm going to tell you one of my side hustles that is my favorite. It is selling plants. Plants. Plants, not pants, plants, as in cactuses and stuff. Okay. So, what I do, I love succulents. Okay. So, succulents are kind of like in the cactus family. They're different kinds. There's like jade plants, there's all kinds of plants that are succulents. Now, what's awesome about succulents is you can propagate them. So you can multiply them really quickly. Okay. So, like a jade plant, you can take just maybe one day I could come on here, do a podcast with you, Crystal, and show people how to propagate a plant. So if you have like a jade plant, it would be even worth it for you to buy a jade plant just to do this. So what you have a jade plant. They have these little leaves. They kind of look like little teardrop leaves. You take the teardrop leaf, take like a plate, put a little bit of dirt on it, and you put the little leaf like this. It'll be kind of facing up like this. You just leave it. You can spritz it with water once in a while, but don't do it too often. You don't want it to be too moist. Anyways, new plants will grow from these leaves. Little baby plants are so cute. You put them in little pots, put little dirt, you put them in the pots. You'll see it'll be really cute. You tend to them, you water them once a week, they'll get bigger, etc. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to find some cute little pots somewhere. I find them on Buy Nothing groups. I don't know if you're part of any Buy Nothing group, but go check Facebook for Buy Nothing group. Sometimes they're called different things like free, everything's free, or just go and look on Facebook for your area. Like I know here it's all Buy Nothing group. So I just go the name of my town, Buy Nothing group with the name of the town. Or, just go and have a look. There's groups, okay, on Facebook. People give away things. So if you have something that you can't sell because maybe it's not super nice or whatever, you can donate it to this group. Now, what you can do is you can start looking. So what I do is I start looking for some really cute pots. So my husband just picks them up today. This girl had these cute little pots and she was like, these are handmade pots. And she said, they're so cute and da da da. So she's giving them away. I was like, so you can just request, you say, I would love these. Thank you for considering me. There's about 20 people who put their name. She chose me. I'm so happy. So the person can choose whoever she wants or he wants. And yeah, so I was chosen. So I got these cute little pots. So that's what I do. In the spring, when there's lots of yard sales, I'll go around. Sometimes they'll just give me the pots, right? All these pots. And some of them are not as nice. They're just like those cheap ones that come with plants or things like that. I just take them all. Then I put my plants in these pots. I take a picture of them and then I post them on Facebook Marketplace. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. I make money I would say every week with my plants. I post them, I sell them, people pay me cash. It's fantastic. In June, you have to think of times like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, the end of the school year. So here the school, they end in June. So what I did is beginning of June posted. So this was something really cool. I got a tea set for free, a tea set. And so there's a little teacup and it had a little saucer. My husband drilled a hole under the teacup. I put some dirt, I put some little baby succulents inside, and I was selling every set for $15. I got this for free. And all I needed to purchase was the dirt that I put inside, like the soil. And I mean, that was like, a big, huge bag for like $6. So it wasn't, the little teacup is a very minimal amount of this. And I put the little plants in there and I took some cute little pictures. Imagine a cute little arrangement in a teacup on a little saucer. It was adorable. So I put it out. And what I did is I went on the computer and I just wrote, best teacher, stuff like that, and I cut it out and I kind of put it like on a little toothpick and I kind of poked it in it. I sold 10 of them. 10 of them. One family ordered 6 for all of the teachers of all of their kids. Because you know how some classes have like maybe an assistant or something. So she was like, I need 6 of them. So I was like, perfect. And another family ordered 4 of them for her 4 teachers. And I was like, I'm all out because that's all I had. I had 10. So I sold them in 2 shots. I made $150 in like no time at all, just posting these little things. So that to me is so fun. And that I love playing in plants. So, if you have a hobby, maybe you sew, maybe you knit, maybe you paint, maybe you woodwork. My husband loves woodworking. He made this for me. Okay. And the year he made this for me, and this is a very simple, it's just a cube. And then he made a hole, drilled a hole. And it's so cool because when my phone is in there, he created this. It took him all of, I don't know, like 10 minutes to make each of them. And he was selling them for $10 one year. And he sold all of the ones that he made. And he gave me one. But see, if you have a hobby that you love doing, why not sell stuff, right? And if you don't have anything, then just go around your house and be like, okay, like, does this have any sentimental value to me? If no, why do I keep it? I don't even know where this comes from. So why don't you sell your stuff, right? So sell your stuff or sell the stuff that you hand make or you do. And like I said, with my plants, what I love about my plants is that they reproduce themselves. I'm never going to be out of jade plants. for the rest of my life because that one jade plant can create 100 jade plants, and then those jade plants can create 100 jade plants. So I'm literally, and this is just one plant. I have multiple kinds of plants, but it's just to give you that example that if you find a plant that multiplies really well, aloe vera multiplies really well, spider plants multiply really well. There's like all kinds that you can just, you'll always have plants to sell. So that's something
Mhm.
that I needed to say because that was like too good. And one last thing, Crystal, do not sleep on online surveys. I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to do online surveys. Listen, okay, I've tried them all. Probably not all, but a lot. I have to say some of them are buggy, and I had to take off my phone because I was like, I'm sure this is what's affecting my phone. So a lot of them I didn't trust. I ended up taking them off my phone. There's a lot of them that there's a lot of things that are, listen, I've tried them, been there, done that. The one that I've had on my phone for the last like 6 years now, it has never caused me issues. I've always been able to get paid. It is very simple. There's not like 100 games. I know some of them you have to play this, you have to play that. It is very simple. There's a few games, but you don't have to do them. They don't flash in your face. There's nothing like that. It's called Add a Poll. And I do have a referral code. So I don't know if I don't have it here, but maybe I could link it somewhere for you. But because if you use a referral code, you get, I think it's like 40 cents or 50 cents that you get automatically when you start. And you only need to have $5 to cash out. And literally I could lay on like sometimes I just lay on the bed scrolling. Well, instead of scrolling, I'll just do like a few these little surveys. Sometimes they're 50 cents, a dollar, $2, whatever. I'll make $5. I cash out. I can go for coffee the next day. Right. So this is a nice one that if you do want to, you know, have a little bit of pocket money. I even, when the days of Clubhouse, have you ever been on Clubhouse?
No.
Okay, so Clubhouse is it's an audio app. So it's like social media, but it's audio. Anyways, in the time of Clubhouse, there was this homeless woman that used to always come on and talk to us and stuff. And I told her about Add a Poll. She still contacts me today via Messenger to tell me, Jennifer, thank you so much, because within like every day she was able to do her surveys and get a few dollars so that she could buy herself something. You know, she could buy herself whatever. And it was because of Add a Poll, and she still uses it today. So that was like in 2020. So it's been 5 years that she's been using it. Bit more maybe. So yeah, so that is a good one. It is the only one that I recommend because the other ones all gave me a hard time. So that's why I say to people, just be careful because some of them are a little bit weird, but this one is super legit. Like I said, since I think since 2020, I think. And it's been really good. And you can easily make like $3 to $5 a day just staying on it for like 20 minutes, you know? So that's, and I mean, sometimes I wouldn't cash out. I would wait till I had like 20 or $30, right? Before I cashed out. But it's up to you. You can cash out as little as $5. That's another one that I do frequently. Yeah. And I have so many more, but I know we're at the hour, so I don't want to talk forever. Maybe I could continue another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you on another time. And yeah, we can keep going through that list of 18. Oh my goodness. Thank you so
It's
much.
You're welcome. And it sounds like a lot. Like people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do it all? But you know what? They all kind of mesh in together, guys. That's the thing, right? Like, you know, like I said, like if I have it like a tutoring student, right? So I'm making money with the tutoring. I created maybe a little worksheet for that student. Maybe at the end of the month, all the worksheets I created, I put them together. I sell them on Teachers Pay Teachers. I sell them on Amazon. It's not any harder to do those things. You know, it's just going to add a bit more time. But then once they're set up, I'm making residual income from that now for years, right? So those things I don't have to touch. Now I haven't even gotten into everything else that I do. Like I blog and I create courses. That'll be for another time. But it's doable. It's doable. And even if it seems overwhelming, because I didn't start all of them at once. I started them. Once I'm comfortable with one of them, I get to another one. I get to another one. And now I have 18. I have 18. So start with one side hustle, guys. Everybody should have a second means, a third means of having a bit of income come in. And don't ever say like, oh, it's a lot of trouble to get $20. Do not sleep on $20, because if you can make $20 a week, I mean, that's a lot of money, right? Like, I mean, there's 50 weeks. That's like, what is that? That's a lot of money. What's $20 times 50 weeks? There's 50 weeks. Two times five is 10. 1,000? No, it has to be more than $1,000 times 50 weeks equals, yeah, it's $1,000. And we can't figure out, but yes, but even $20 a day, $20 a week is $1,000 at the end of the year. So do not sleep on $20 a week. It's $1,000. So think about it. If you had an extra $1,000, so imagine if right now you start a side hustle that makes you $20 a week. Next Christmas, you could have $1,000. If you were to take the money from that one side hustle that makes you $20 a week, just put it away in a piggy bank. And that means that next Christmas, you'll have $1,000 for your Christmas gifts. Imagine that, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. It's a lot of money.
And you just yep, and then once you start, you just keep building.
Precisely. Yes. It doesn't have to be overwhelming where you do 18 things at once, but definitely start something. That's what I recommend. And don't be shy to get onto camera. Don't be shy to start something on social media and let people know what you're doing, because you'd be surprised that once people know what you're doing, they want to help. A lot of times they want to help, even if it's just sharing out your content or commenting on your content or whatever, right? So it's also very helpful.
Totally. Oh, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to have you on again.
Of course, and we can chat on Owl as well.
Yep.
I'd
I'll
love
put
that.
I'll put everything in the description box.
Okay, I'll send you some stuff.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Crystal.
Bye everyone.
Bye.